so that the others will not miss. So I just installed 3 machines. All are 2022. Some domain controller and 2 machines, node 1, node 2. Actually, I don't need domain controller also, but still I've done that. So I'm just going to create 1 or 2 scenarios for you guys, and just let me know how will you troubleshoot if those scenarios comes to you. That is my intention with this class. So just continuation of like what we have seen in the past. I think long time back I've made a video on troubleshooting always on, right? So I think it's beginning of my IAS classes when I was teaching IAS. So I took 1 class on it. So just imagine it's like continuation of the same class. Okay, so I will close all these things, and this is how it looks. Everything looks green, perfect, no changes whatsoever. So first I will show my dashboard. And by the way, this is always on DNN. So when I say DNN, first and foremost thing, if you go to your listener and if you go to your properties, you will not see IP address. Please do remember that. Okay, there is no IP address. Don't think this is something what is that, something which you are not aware, because we went through these classes. We are very much aware of what is DNN, listeners. So when it comes to DNN, it operates based on DNS. So that's the reason you will not see any IP address here. This is clear, right? I mean the configuration, because we have 2 types of setup when it comes to always on Azure VMs. One is load balancer, the other one is DNN. If you are operating in single subnet, if you are operating in multi subnet, you don't need either of them. You can directly configure by using the OR logic or condition. In that we'll discuss later. Of course, we did that. We already discussed. I don't want to bring that topic today now. So this is single subnet. Either you have to use load balancer or you have to use DNN. So I am using DNN in this case. Is this clear or any doubts before I move on? I think my internet connection is gone or what? Am I audible?
There's something you can go
Okay.
ahead.
Okay, so I'm going to generate a scenario for you guys. You guys just let me know how will you troubleshoot one of the use cases. As of now, if you see, let me show you the dashboard. Everything is green and it is synchronous, automatic failover. Okay, and then also if I open up my cluster, everything is green. Okay, there are no problems whatsoever. So imagine in real time something happened and you are asked to troubleshoot, right? That is what happens in real time. So they will bring you on the fly and they ask you to troubleshoot. So issues might come at any point of time. So it is our responsibility to jump in and see what happened exactly. So I'm just stopping my screen share for a moment and I'll generate the scenario, and I request you to start troubleshooting on behalf of myself. Okay, so just bear with me for a few seconds. Stop share. I think it's good. And I'll keep using them. It will take a couple of minutes, guys, because I have to generate that scenario. Just bear with me. I'm trying to finish that off quickly. But it will be useful because the same scenarios will happen in real time also. I think I'm done. Let me check once. Okay. Okay, I'm done. So I'm sharing the screen again. So this is how it looks. Again, we are on node 1. Node 1 is primary, like what you have seen in the at the beginning of the experiment. So it is still the node 1 that is the primary. But unfortunately, if I go on here, the databases is not in synchronized state. This is not synchronizing, and this is in recovery. Secondary is in recovery. Let me refresh this. Okay, secondary is in recovery. Databases, some red marks, and even on primary, something happened and my database is in not synchronizing state. So now you as a DBA, what will be your first step to troubleshoot this? You can talk now. I know this is not the right time for you to interact with me, but still, if you have any chance, you can raise your voice. Let me see. Did I mute you?
Have to verify the logs, always on logs.
Always on logs. Let's start with always on. Where can I find always on logs? In real time, just imagine this is how it looks in real time. So you are asked to troubleshoot.
Right, always on high availability.
Uh, sorry, come again.
Right click on always on high availability.
Mm,
Show dashboard.
okay.
On right
Uh,
side,
okay.
stir logs, something. View always on health events.
You always on health events. This one you are talking about. This one. Okay.
Can you
Okay.
come
So
down?
how you are getting this information? Like from where I'm getting this? You know about this? So if you click on view always on health events, from where I'm getting this information?
Extended events.
Yeah. So by default, guys, this is very important. If you are dealing with always on in your environments, we do have extend events by name always on health. I think always on. That's the thing. Let me check. Extend events sessions. This is one always on health. So that will be running behind the scenes. If it is not turned off, sorry, if it is not running, make sure it is turned on. Okay, so that is what that is helping us to troubleshoot. If you see here, so he's asking me to click on view always on health events, which is nothing but it's the same thing. It points to this file. Okay, so both are same. If you want, you can go here and you can check the information. This is same thing, or you can go here, you can click on this tab. So both are one at the same. Okay, so now, okay, I went here. So what will be my next step?
Can you see the error report, error details during that time frame? Anyone of the records?
Error reported. There is one thing called as error reported uh, there, right? You can see the name of it. So I'm going to error reported and see how it helps me. So error reported is what I can see. Something happened all of a sudden and my AG is not synchronizing. And as a DBA, I have to troubleshoot what went wrong. So what should I do now?
So clueadmin.msc. Can you go there?
Yeah, clue admin is there and I'm refreshing it. So it looks green. So I don't have any issues here. The nodes are up and running. And the roles, the only one role what I have, the always on listener. Of course,
Can you
yeah.
cluster event?
Cluster events means event viewer.
Last tab in the clueadmin.msc.
Okay, okay.
After net.
Cluster events, okay. Cluster events.
Yeah, can you check that? What will be the exact error?
If you see the time window 11, today is 15th, right? 15th I have at 9:53. So I don't have anything with 11:20 because we initiated this class at 11 o'clock my time. So there is nothing here. How about others? I know Narayana is talking, but how about others? I do know it's difficult for you to interact, but in case if you get any chance to talk, please do talk. It will be very helpful, because the way you are troubleshooting makes you feel comfortable and you will become expert for sure. It should be I will help you to directly approach to the right. I mean, I'm just presenting you the right approach so that you can pinpoint. I will make you to go in the right direction rather than checking all these things. Okay, so I will take this now. So at the beginning, you have seen my clustered is in synchronous mode, right? So it was in synchronous mode. For some reason, it got changed to asynchronous mode. So I got few questions in few groups asking me how to how to get this alert when someone changes from synchronous to asynchronous, or who did this action, who performed this. So these are the questions what I got. So if that is the case, you can check your always on health session. Okay, so you can go here. So for example, if I change it to uh, what is it, synchronous to asynchronous or something like that, so you can check here. There is one thing called as always on DDL executed. So you can check there, and you can see there is one thing called as NT username. So you can find that guy who changed from synchronous to asynchronous, something like that. You can find out from here. So that is there. Okay, so that is one thing. So for the moment I change it to asynchronous, right? So why I change, it's okay, just to reproduce the error I changed it. So now what will be your next step? So someone changed it from synchronous to asynchronous, you found out who is that guy, and now you have to troubleshoot what needs to be done to fix this error. Now can you let me know what will be your next step? So like this, if you see always on DDL executed, there is empty username, you can catch that guy from here. So I think I will go with timestamp descending, so you can find out the right tabs. Okay, why I'm explaining you this scenario, I'll let you know. Because one guy approached me and he was showing me this. He was just discussing me on phone about this scenario. So I just reproduced it with what they are doing from their end, from in their real-time environment. Okay, now I will show you what needs to be done. So, okay, something got happened, and now if I go here, okay, this is in red marks, that is on secondary, that is fine. But if I open up here on primary, okay, so this is being stopped or passed, suspended, or I should say suspended. So now if I resume this, of course, just to generate this error, I did this, guys, and I will tell you the story why I have done this scenario. So now if I refresh this, so if I go here, now it is synchronized. And if I go here, if I refresh this, this is still in not synchronized state, that is fine. But I will let you know how to troubleshoot this. So why I have created this scenario? So see here, this is again in suspended state. So I'm resuming. So once I resume this, it will be in good shape. So it will come to synchronizing state, because if it is async, you will get as synchronizing instead of synchronized. Okay, so now we are back to good shape. As I told you, one of my friends reached me, and he's asking, he has one task where their databases are in asynchronous state, and as part of it, they are carrying out some DR activity. Interestingly, the first step for them is they have to suspend the databases, and they have to initiate, the next step is they have to initiate the failover. So if you are in async and if you are suspending the databases and if you are failing it over, this is what happens. You got my point? Again, I'm repeating, in their case, I'm talking about their case. Of course, that is a wrong approach, but still I'm just pointing them to go in the right direction. They are having some DR activity. By nature, they are in asynchronous mode. Okay. The first step for them is they have to disable, they have to suspend the databases from always on. So if they carry out the suspend activity on the databases, and if they initiate the failover, this is what happens. If they fail over and if they fail back, totally the same scenario would get generated. So don't do such kind of stupid activities. Okay, don't if you are doing DR activities, make sure you change them to synchronous so that it will be in sync, and then you perform your failover. Don't do it on the fly. That too with suspending the databases. That is completely a wrong activity. Is that clear now? Like the issue what they got, and like the issue what you are seeing right now.
Yes, Vamshi.
Okay. So there is one more thing. So the same thing again. So who has performed this activity, like who has changed from synchronous to asynchronous, or who has done this suspended, resume, all these things. For suspend, resume, and all those things, I think we have alerts for it. If I go to my alerts here, so we can configure alerts for suspend, resume, always on alerts are there. So you can work on them. That is fine. But for other information, we have to go to the health events, and you can check the end username from there. So that is also one more thing. In real time, it might help us. So be cautious with this file and use it properly to get the right information. Okay.
Vamshi, one thing,
Hmm.
like forget about that suspending data moment.
Hmm.
Okay, if it is in asynchronous, if
Hmm.
we try to do failover, okay,
Hmm.
same kind of issue can happen, right?
No, if you see here right now, I didn't suspend, right? So everything is in green. I mean, I didn't suspend the databases.
Yeah.
Let me show you
You
now.
resumed.
I resumed it, so everything is in good shape. So now if I come to node 2, and if I wanted to fail over, it will give you a warning saying that potentially there will be data loss, but we are good to go. So I'm clicking on next. So if I click on finish, let's see, and I will fail back also, so that you will feel confident. So now VM node 2 will become primary. If you see, this is primary, and VM node 1 will become secondary. Just wait for it. Okay. So now if I go here, at least on primary, I'm talking about primary. When I opened up that scenario, it was in bad shape, right? The primary database itself was in bad shape. But if I go to my secondary, it will be in bad shape because we are in asynchronous mode. So if that is the case, if you are operating with asynchronous, ensure that you are clicking on this option. Don't forget that. Okay. It will be in passed state, suspended state for sure, but only on secondaries, not on primary. In his scenario, he has failed back. I mean, he performed failover, and again he did fail back. So he forgot to resume this uh, databases from suspend mode. So that's the reason his entire VMs, I mean, entire always on went into red state. I mean, the bad shape. Okay. So now if I see, it will be in synchronizing state. So, and this is very important. I mean, this is very basic step, but still many people will forget that, and they create chaos for themselves. Unnecessary troubleshooting needs to be done for this kind of scenarios. Okay. So this is one thing. And second thing, what I noticed is, okay, I will just disable the screen share for a couple of minutes, and I will show you one important thing again. Especially this is on 2022. This is there right from 2012. This is there. So this is not a new topic, but what I'm going to show you now is something new. Stop the share. Okay, I will share the screen back. Okay, so now if I go and check the cluster state first, all of a sudden, okay, all of a sudden it is happening like this. Now you tell me, what will you do? This is not at all easy troubleshooting, guys. Believe me, it took a lot of time for me to troubleshoot what went wrong. Of course, I did it intentionally, so I know, but if it happens in real time, it's like hell in a cell. See how it is fluctuating. So now your first step will be obviously go to the cluster events, right? So now if I refresh, now I got the events. It says based on the failure policies, it's not able to get it. Exhausted the failure attempts. The same thing, of course. Okay, so I know we have some policies. So if it get exhausted, we'll get this message. But even if you increase, it doesn't matter. The roles will be like this only forever. Even if you increase the value of that 6 by default, I think it is 6 or something. Even if you increase that, nothing will work. because it keeps on trying to bring the resource online, but it will never come online. Is this interesting? Now you
Yes.
tell me, what will you do to troubleshoot?
Can you go to notes?
Notes, okay. Cluster admin notes. Notes are up. I didn't play with notes.
Can you go to storage?
No, storage, this is always on, right? So we don't have shared storage concept. So we can ignore that storage here. It's not cluster. I mean, this is not failover cluster instance, right? So no point of storage. Okay, let's go to our health events, like the same thing. I'm on what machine? Node 2. Okay. Let me go to node 1 and let me bring that file and see if that helps. Okay, the dashboard is also turned into red. And let me go to extend events, sessions, always on. And I think 11:37. 11. Okay, this is time 50. I will go to the bottom. And right now it's 11:29 is the last message on node 1. I'm not able to find anything here. What else can we do? And still it will be the same thing. It will keep on trying forever. It will never come online for sure. I did something, because of that it will never come online.
Network.
Network. Okay, network. Okay, what should I check from network standpoint? Okay, let me check this. So if I go to the cluster network, we will be having two Ethernet cards, one for node 1 and one for node 2. Both are up and running. Network seems to be good. Nodes are good. What else can you think of? Let me go to read error log. I am expecting read error log, but no one has asked me to run read error log, but I'm doing this. I will say Control T because it will be in text format. Can you see anything that helps you? Or if you want, I will zoom this a bit. I'll just 11:29 is the last message what we have on node 1. After that, there is nothing to check here. So if you want, you can check the messages also. Do you think anything useful here? Let's go slowly. We resumed it at 11:28. Right now the time is 11:34, and after that it's in good shape. And at 11:29, the availability group with primary database terminated for secondary database, secondary to resolving. That's the message what I can see. But why it went into resolving, I don't know. What else can we do now? Let me go to the so any other option that you can think of? It will be the same state, guys. So there will be no change. Roles, if I go to the roles, it will be the same thing. This happens only on 2022 for your information. Most probably, no, not most probably. It will happen only on 2022. I can say that. Okay, so I'm expecting one small thing from you. So if anyone can answer that, it will be, I'll feel more happy. One small thing, very small thing. Okay, so if you are troubleshooting these kind of issues, guys, so very important thing is first you have to check the clue admin. Okay, so if clue admin is looking fine with respect to nodes and networks, then it is fine. So then come back to our SSMS and see the always on health events. Okay, health events, that is one more important thing. You have to check always on health events on both the nodes, not just one node, secondaries as well as primary. Okay, and then check your read error logs on primary as well as secondary. Right now, we are just verifying it on node 1, but we didn't check on node 2, right? So let me show on node 2, and I will show you one more thing. So I'm just disconnecting, and if I come here, and if I try to connect to node 2, see what happens. Boom, I'm not able to connect either. And do you think the service is up and running on node 2? That is your next question, right? Obviously, the next question is, what about the service on node 2? So this is my machine, and this is my node 2, just for your information. Host name is node 2. And if I go here, my service is up and running, but I'm not able to connect. I'm getting this message. So what next? If the class would have been interactive session, it would have been so nice. I should have invited all other groups as well, but I didn't invite any others. Just it is for our group. So imagine, guys, is in real time, you are not able to connect your node 2 despite of service up and running. So what will be your next step? What will you do?
Check configuration
TCP/IP
setting
is
like named
enabled.
pipes. No.
Okay,
TCP
named
is
pipes,
enabled.
named pipes, TCP is there. Named pipes is disabled, it's not required. TCP is the one that I need to check, it is enabled. If I want, I will go to the properties. I didn't make any changes with port, it's still 1433, no issues. First thing first, you are not able to connect to the instance itself. So what will be the first step of troubleshooting this issue?
Check physical error log.
So
On the
finally,
file.
I got the answer what I'm looking at. Check the physical error log. So if you're not able to connect to the instance, you cannot run SP reader log. So you have to go to the physical error log. So right now I'm at physical error log. So if I open this, okay, and I will go to the bottom, but before that, I just wanted to show you it will be in same state. Okay. So now if I scroll it down to the bottom, now tell me what should I do? These are the messages. So if I want, I will zoom a bit. Even it is not responding because it is trying to write to the log file. So obviously it might take time. I will open up another notepad. Bear with me because it is writing to the log file, right? So it won't respond. So we have to go with the font what it is showing. Sorry for that. Even if I go with word wrap, it might, oh, as expected. Okay, something came back at least. This is
Seems
how it looks,
endpoint.
guys. Read the message properly and now tell me what should I do. You can see the error messages, right? In front of you are seeing something.
Cluster service on the second node.
Cluster service is offline.
Cluster service is not running on secondary node. Okay, what is that? It says cannot bring the Windows failover cluster resource online. Yes, we are seeing that. As you can see, it is trying to bring online. It is not happening. That is what it is trying to write over here. That is fine. What next? Okay, I will let you know. This is very important. This happens only on 2022. Okay, read this point. The SQL Server at the endpoint is configured to accept only strict TDS 8.0 and above connections. The connection has been closed. This is what the message that you have to read and you have to inspect when you are troubleshooting. If I just went here and I'm just Googling because just like in the real time, we are doing the same thing. We got something and we are trying to troubleshoot, but there is not much support available on this, guys. Unfortunately, I'm letting you know there is nothing available on the internet. This is first of its kind. Okay, even if you Google this, there is nothing much that you can do. Okay, I will show you how to troubleshoot this. Go here. So this is our message. So you got to know something is there, some TDS 8.0. So what is the TDS 8.0 and how it came into picture? So you know what happened? I went here and I took the protocols, and again I am saying this happens only on 2022. Go to your properties there is something called as force strict encryption. Okay, if you enable this, okay, turn on to enforce strict encryption, so it will try to make use of tabular data stream 8 point some series, 8.x only for selected server instance. So if you turn this option on for some reason, okay, in real time, if you wanted to do something, or imagine guys, for every every month you will get some patches, right? So some Windows patch has been applied, and imagine, just it's a rare scenario, it will never happen, but imagine it got turned on because of some Windows patches, or someone accidentally turned it on. Okay, if that is the case, this will happen. So turn this off. Okay, never turn this on. There are so many things that even Microsoft has to document on this topic. So that's the reason we are not seeing anything on this. Okay, click on OK. And now if you restart, I'm not doing anything. I just turn it on and I'm turning it off. And now if you see, let's wait for it. No, it is not trying to bring anything online. It's in failed state. That's fine. At least that fluctuations is gone. Okay, now if you see, I'm back online. I didn't do anything. I just turned it on to generate the error and I turned it off. That's the only thing what I did. So how I am able to troubleshoot this? After going to error logs physically, then only I came to know there is something called as TDS 8.0. Okay, and I googled it. There is nothing much available for the moment. Okay, but still, if you wanted to read on TDS 8.0, you can read it from any Microsoft websites. For the moment, there is nothing much. So as part of testing, I did this yesterday and I realized there is some importance to this. And I thought of showing you a demo on this. That's it. The only intention is be cautious with this option. You liked it or no, nothing?
Yes, Vamshi.
Yes, Vamshi.
So be careful, especially with asynchronous. It might not happen for synchronous. Synchronous, it will say it will not allow you to connect, but the resources will be online because I tested it out. For asynchronous, this is what it is happening. Okay, so be very cautious if you are in 2022 and for some reason it is not coming up, and if you are seeing this message inside your error logs, straight away check that option. Of course, it will never happen, but we never know, right? There are so many people who are using 2022. There are chances you might see in this error in the future. May not be now, but maybe in the future. So that is about my demo, guys. So next demo will be on contained availability groups. But before that, I just start off showing you these two errors. Any questions? Let me know, or else I will wind it off. I don't think there will be any questions, but I'm just showing you like few important things. Okay, I'll catch you some other time.
Yeah, thanks, Vamshi. Thanks
No
for your
problem.
time.
Yeah, bye bye.
Thanks.
Yeah.